Behind me here, you can see two of my favorite sewing projects ever. These are my brown woolen winter coat and my pink sparkly raincoat. They are made using the same sewing pattern, which is just glorious. These things are so beautiful, so flattering. It is one of my favorite sewing patterns. I have altered it slightly to make the skirt longer and a little bit fuller. Let me put on the winter coat for you. But yeah, both of these absolute star items in my wardrobe. So then here in front of me, I have a sewing project that I ended up not loving as much as I had hoped. This is a maternity skirt. Made this when I was pregnant. Love the idea of it. It's basically a wrap skirt that wraps around both the front and the back. It's very size adjustable with a lovely waistband, and in theory this is a fantastic garment. However, the fabric isn't right for it. And can you tell where this is heading? I have a feeling that this needs to turn into this. I have to, right? I have to. So basically how this works is you tie the front waistband in the back, and then you tie the back waistband in the front. And this was supposed to be one of those styles that just kind of grows with you. You can wear it both pregnant and not pregnant. And again, I love it in theory, but it's just too thick of a material and it's too bulky. I feel like it doesn't sit right, it doesn't move right. And I actually think that this material would be so lovely as an autumn coat. But I also don't want to replicate that exact one, just in a different fabric. So what I think I'm going to do, the pattern that I used for those coats is this one. It's McCall's M6800. This pattern right here. And what I've done so far is I've made, I think I did coat D with the length of the low hem, of the high-low hem of coat B. I think that's what I did. And then with the detachable hood, which I made detachable on the brown coat and not detachable on the pink coat. What I would like to do for this one is to make version, where is it? A. This one right here. It has a beautiful collar style that's a bit more open, which already makes it a slightly warmer weather garment. It's also a lot shorter, which I think is going to be good. Because first of all, it's going to set it apart from that one. Secondly, I don't have that much fabric. So I have all of the fabric that's in this skirt. However, I also found that I didn't actually end up using all of the fabric to make that skirt. I have quite a bit of it left. So I have a whole extra piece here that is actually really large, and I'm hoping that it may be enough to make the entire coat. If it's not, I will happily cut into this skirt. What I'm going to go ahead and do is try and find all the pattern pieces for version A, which is one I haven't made yet, and see where we're at. I have a few options for lining material already in my stash. First off, I have quite a bit left of the original lining that I used for my brown coat here. This is my preferred material. I just really hope I have enough of it. This feels like a pretty small amount. So as a backup, I have some of this, which is not ideal because it's a jersey. And you kind of want the inside of a coat to be more slippery so that you can easily slide in and out of it. This would catch a bit more easily on my sweaters and just whatever I'm wearing underneath. However, I do have a lot of this, and this is fabric that I really struggle to use up. So I feel like this could be a good way to do that. We're definitely gonna have to use the skirt. There are four pattern pieces left, 3 of which are the long ones, and you need every piece twice. So this pattern does require quite a bit of fabric. I just hope I'm able to make it work at all, if I'm honest. But there is quite a bit of wasted space here, so maybe I can puzzle this together a little bit better. Unfortunately, I do have the pattern to contend with. I cannot place pattern pieces on here diagonally or kind of make them fit together perfectly because I need to mind the grain lines. Even doing this is not preferable, but I think I can get away with that, maybe. Alright, so I've played around with it a bit. And it looks like with the skirt, I don't even have to have the sleeves going the other direction. Like everything follows the same grain line. I do have a few pieces upside down, but that shouldn't be a problem. There will be a lot of offcuts from this, many more than I would normally have. but that's just what happens when you use a pattern like this. One thing I haven't thought of yet, which maybe I should, oh man, I just realized this, pattern matching. Oh, it's gonna look so much better if the lines actually continue. I'm gonna see if that's even a possibility, because that will elevate this garment a lot if I can make that work. And I do have a little bit of wiggle room, so fingers crossed. Okay, it looks like it's not gonna be as hard as I feared, actually, looking at this now. So there is this line on all of the main body. Woo! There's this line that says for petite, which is like where you fold it if you're short. So I'm just making sure that that line lines up with the top of one of these lighter strips. For pieces that are facing the other direction, of course, the top of the line is in a different spot, but so far that seems like a really easy reference point, and so far it's working. So all of those are set up right. This one, I'm gonna have to go up quite a bit. Okay, I'm really glad I remembered to do this, because this is something I usually only realize until after I've got the fabric, and by that time it's too late. Pattern pieces are cut, and I am a little bit nervous because I have a feeling that my 2 layers of fabric weren't perfectly lined up everywhere. And I checked for this before I started pinning, of course, but it's just really hard. You can't really know for sure until you've cut it whether your pattern is perfectly lined up. So I have a feeling that not all of my pieces will be exactly pattern matched, but we'll find out how bad it is once I start pinning the pieces together. I think I'm just gonna go ahead, start assembling, basically, because this pattern is a lot of prep work, but the sewing itself is not too bad. There's just many pieces because it's a very shaped, fitted coat. Start assembling and we'll see about the pattern matching. I really hope it's all right. Moment of truth. The front piece and the side front piece. If I line up that waist that I meant to line up, then all of the rest of it seems to actually line up really nicely. Of course, I don't want to overcorrect here and end up with a lined up pattern but a wonky coat. But then again, a wonky pattern does make the coat look wonky as well. So either way, this needs to line up. Okay, I think if I open this up, ooh, now that is smooth. I like that very much. Yes. Okay, I have assembled the main body pieces. And oh, look at this. So we have the front. We have the other front. And then we have the back. I could not be more pleased with this pattern matching. It turned out exactly as I had hoped. The only thing is, and it's way too late to change that now, but looking at it like this, I think it actually may have been nicer if the pattern was directed this way. So if I had folded the fabric differently, but that's okay. We're just gonna have horizontal stripes. It's fine, they match. That's the most important thing. So now the next step is to attach the sides to the back, but there is a pocket that goes in here. So I'm gonna have to make that. And the pocket is half made out of lining fabric. So that means that I will probably, at this point, have to choose my lining fabric. And I have been putting off that decision. I also realized that I made a little mistake, or I forgot something. And I believe this happened to me literally every time I've made this coat so far. The very front piece, like the center front piece, needs to be cut 4 times, twice on each side, because it is also the facing. Yeah, the facing is made of the same like outer material, obviously, because you're gonna wear this open as the collar. So I'm gonna have to cut more, and I don't think I have enough fabric to make 2 complete ones. Something I could do to kind of cheat my way around this, make that facing out of outer fabric, like up to the waist maybe, and then have it be lining fabric waist down. I think it's gonna work. This is a single layer of fabric, but I have another one, and I think they are more or less the same size, and I was able to kind of fit these on here. Great thing about lining is I don't have to worry about pattern. I personally don't even really care about the direction of the fabric, the grain lines and things like that. I just need this to fit. But it looks like it is gonna fit onto the shiny fabric. I don't wanna just go ahead and cut pockets out of this willy-nilly though, so I may honestly just have to go ahead and cut all of these pattern pieces out, and then try and make the pockets out of whatever's remaining. Moment of truth. I just attached the shoulder seams, which means that we can try it on for the first time. Always a bit of a nerve-wracking moment. I love this length so much. I didn't realize it was still this long. I thought it would be more around like hip maybe. But this is still a very comfortable butt covering length. This is gonna be gorgeous. I love the color. I can't wait to finish this. It has the pockets, which are absolutely lovely. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. So we still have to do this bit of the collar, obviously the sleeves, and all of the lining, which by the way, I ended up not actually cutting out all of the lining. I pinned all the pattern pieces to the fabric so that they don't move around on me. But some of them still had the fabric attached to them, so I didn't want to, cause too much of a disruption there. So I pinned them all to the fabric. They are all laying here on the floor. We're gonna cut that out next week because this is all the time that I have for this week. I think we got pretty far, actually. Oh, it's gonna be a great fit as well. I can already tell. I can fit a pretty large sweater under here. I mean, I'm wearing a knitted sweater and there's still plenty of room here. I have to figure out which buttons go with this. Anyway, plenty to do still next week, but I am confident that we will get this done next week. Thank you so much for joining me here. Really hope you enjoyed part 1 of turning my not very successful maternity skirt into a very successful autumn coat. We're gonna finish this next week. Have a lovely weekend and I will see you then.